Hey Code Catalyst, it is William Donnell here with
Lisa Garner.
and we're here for the Code Catalyst, and we want to tell you about the projects. Hope you guys are really enjoying the program, and we've got post-it notes to help remind us of all the things that we want to tell you. So first of all, about the judging, we know that you guys are trying to win this trip to San Francisco and also some cool prizes. I'll talk about those in a little bit, but I want to let you know that you're going to be judged against the other people that are in your semester. So you're only going to be judged against people that are taking in this fall semester. So another thing is we've got some deadlines that we want to tell you about, right? So the first one is we're going to take a badge count. So we're going to take a snapshot to see how many badges to make sure that you've crossed the 150 badge point. And when are we going to do that, Lisa?
December 18th.
Absolutely. So December 18th, I think that's close to the last day of school for a lot of you guys getting ready for Christmas. And then your projects, we want to give you a little extra time to get those done. So you've got until January the 1st as a deadline for your projects. So let's talk about projects. You might be wondering, how are we going to get our projects to you, William? Well, the way we're going to do that is we're going to have a Dropbox link that we're going to share with your teacher. So you'll get the files to your teacher, and they will be able to share with us here at Code Catalyst. And the only thing that I ask is to make sure if you're doing just an HTML site, then that's fine. But if you're doing something that is PHP, or if you're doing something in a dynamic code language, just make sure that we have compiled code that we can be able to run and see the awesome project that you guys have created.
Yes, awesome projects. Awesome projects are groups of 1 to 2 people. So you can work with one other person or you can just work by yourself. You guys are going to be building a site that is 5 pages or more. So it can be larger than that, but it has to be at least 5 pages. And then we're asking that your teams fill out a form on our website, which is thecodecatalyst.com.
Thecodecatalyst.com. Yep.
Yes, so you can go there, fill out a form at the bottom of the page for each team. That way we can know a little bit of info about you and find out a little bit more about your project. So do that. So let's see. We don't care about bling for these projects. So it's not about the fancy stuff. We want to know if it works, and we want to know if it looks good. And we're actually going to show you an example at the end of this video so you can get a better idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah, we want to make sure that it works, but also does it do its job? So that's an important thing. If your website is supposed to accomplish a certain thing, then does it do that well? It also needs to be complete. That's really important.
Oh, yeah.
So once you get everything working like it's supposed to, it's complete, it does its job well, then make sure that it looks good, and then if you've got time left over, put some bling in there. But I'm telling you, we're going to be judging those other things first.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you're done with that part.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so there's 3 components of the project, not of the project, of the contest. And so those are your badge count. You got to have at least 150 badges to kind of qualify for the next part. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to have a project. We talked a little bit about the projects. And the third thing is the interview. So some of you guys are going to be doing interviews that kind of talk about the things that you're learning. So there's going to be some questions to make sure that you understand and can communicate the things that you're learning in the Treehouse program and in the Code Catalyst program. And the reason we do that is because when you go and get a job, we're wanting you to learn these skills to be able to have a career later on in life, right? And so there's soft skills. It's not just being able to communicate with a computer, but also being able to communicate with humans.
Yeah, it's very important.
So the interviews can help you guys get an opportunity to talk about code, talk about the stuff that you're learning, kind of like you would do in an interview for a job. And then that's one of the things that we're going to use to kind of determine who's going to be the winners that are going to go on this trip to San Francisco. And so your teacher is going to let you know which of you guys are going to be doing the interview portion. It's going to be a video interview, and it's not going to be hard. Don't be nervous. It'll be awesome. All right, so I talked about, there's the big prize of San Francisco, but I also want to let you guys know that there's going to be some smaller prizes as well. And so you're going to be hearing more about those in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
those will come from your teachers.
Right, so your teachers will just announce some things. Hey, here's a prize that's going to go out. They're going to be much smaller, but it's going to be something hopefully to motivate you guys to keep learning and keep growing on the Treehouse program and in the Code Catalyst program. And so that's really, I'm out of post-it notes. Are you out of?
I didn't throw them like you did, Yeah,
I like to do
dramatic.
that. So that's all we've got. Hope that you guys are really enjoying the program. If you have questions, then you can ask your teachers. If your teachers can't answer the questions, then I know that they're gonna talk to you.
Yep.
And then she might even ask me a question or something.
Yep.
I don't know. So anyway, hope that you guys are enjoying Code Catalyst. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
it is William Donnell here with the Co. And I wanted to show you an example of a site. I know you guys are working on your projects, and one of the requirements for your project is that it be at least a 5-page site. And so I wanted to give you an example of something. So this is a site, full disclosure, this is a site that my company, Sodium Halogen, built and designed. And I thought I would show you a little bit of the process. There's nothing really spectacular about this site. I still don't like this logo. Sometimes when you're dealing with the real world, you have to work with elements that you're not really crazy about. So I would love to have a different logo to deal with for Tulum. But you know what? That's the one that I've got. One of the reasons that I think that this site works fairly well and want to use it as an example is because think for a moment about if you're a restaurant, who are you trying to build this site for? Well, it's people that are going to come and eat your food, right? So when I was talking with the owner, we wanted to make sure that photography was something that was front and center. We wanted food that was so good that it looked so good that you wanted to eat it. And so one of their best-selling items that they have is the fish tacos, and it's also one of my favorites. So we got a photographer to come and do a photo shoot and take photos. Now, I realize you may not have that luxury in working in your projects, but having some good images to help tell your story is important. So you'll notice that we've got those here. When you scroll down, the next thing that you see here is catering. That's kind of one of the second most important things. Is if you're not going to come in and eat at their restaurant, they want you to come in and have them, or have them cater a meal at your event. So this ends up being an important thing to the bottom line of Tulum. So we want to make sure that users know, that people that come to the site know that they can, that Tulum does catering. And then we've got photos of the food that's here. We've got a testimonial. Every page, there's a couple of questions that people are going to want to ask. And those are, I think, in this order. What do you do? In this case, you sell Mexican food. Who are you? I think that's Tulum, right? Your Tulum Fresh Mex. Why should I trust you? And so in this case, we've got a testimonial from someone who says the food is good. I'm seeing pictures of the food. That lets me know, hey, that looks good. That's why I should trust you. We also have down here that we've got, we're on Yelp, Urban Spoon, TripAdvisor. We've got these things here, fresh chip and salsa. So that's the third thing is why should I trust you? And then the fourth thing is what should I do next? And so you'll notice that right up at the top, when people are coming here, we've got the menu right there. So the menu is up here in the navigation, and then also the menu is right here. So as you scroll down the page, you can see that we've got some information here. There are a couple of little subtle animations that are here. They're not super exciting, but again, we've got everything else working like it's supposed to first. So let's go up here and look at the menu. So here's the menu page, and you can see all of the information here. You'll notice that it's not all of this stuff is put in with HTML and CSS. There's lots of contrast between the image of the food here. Again, it's not just text. There's images of the food, and so we took these and cut these out in Photoshop and dropped them in the page. There's some sub-navigation, so you can jump down to burritos, and you can see all of this. We've got some more images of the food that are prominently displayed throughout the site that's here. Then they also have catering, more pictures of the food that's up here. We show the catering menu, and then the location is also important, right? So we've got a Google map that's embedded right here so people can get to it. Another thing is if you scroll to the bottom, you'll notice that I've got the address that's right here. So it's easy to find. Phone number is easy to find. If people are going to try to find the restaurant, we want to make it super easy for them to do that. We've got the hours of operation. All of this is right here in the footer so that they can find it. So again, not a super exciting site, but I think that it does its job well, even though it's a fairly simple site, because it focuses on the food and it thinks about the people that are going to be coming to the site. And the way that we design this site, I'll kind of show you a little bit behind the scenes. We at Sodium Halogen like to start with sketches. And so this is an actual sketch that we did where we're kind of answering those 4 questions. And then we put those on the homepage. So before I wrote a line of code, before we did a single mock-up, we did these sketches and then we showed them to the client to make sure that what we thought were the most important things on the site, the client also thought were the most important things. So you can kind of see we've got the fish tacos, an image. You can kind of see that in the background, an image of the fish tacos. View our menu. The logo is up here with these little lines represent navigation. And you can see here's the things from the site brief. We want to show off food that's so good you get hungry. Make sure that the menu is really easy to find. The second most important thing is finding the menu. The third most important thing is contact info. So we've got that down here at the bottom in the footer. You can see where we're answering that right there in the footer. So then what are our calls to action? We want people to try our food. We want them to cater an event. We want them to order a party platter. So right here, try our food. You go right to view the menu. That's where we're answering that call to action. Right here with catering, you can click the button to find out about that. Order party platter, that's down here at the bottom. Where's the party? We've got the food covered. So then here's those 4 questions that I mentioned before. What do you do? And so they provide Mexican food that's healthy, they provide catering, and they provide party platters. We've already talked about how all of those things are accomplished on the homepage. Who are you? Tulum. You can see that in the bottom with the information, but mainly with the logo that's up at the top. Third question is, why should I trust you? Well, we've got testimonials, and then we also have social food reviews. So we've got a testimonial that's right here in this quotation, and we've got Yelp, Urban Spood, Best of Jackson. These things are right here. And then what should I do next? Well, you should do the call to actions, the buttons that are here. View the menu, look at the catering, look at the party planning, or look at the address and the phone number so that you can go and visit the store and buy their food. So this kind of shows you a little bit about our process behind this. You want to start with sketching before you're worrying about code. Make sure you're building something that's going to be effective, and then figuring out how you're going to build it, right? And how you're going to design it. And then you can kind of see how the sketches, look at the sketches that are here, and they led us to the layout of the site. You can see how, let me jump back to the home page. You can see how this is echoed and how those things work. So if you've already started on your project, I encourage you to sketch out what the site is going to look like. And you can tell, look, I am not an artist. Look at this. There's nothing beautiful about these sketches that are here. It's meant to communicate an idea. It's super simple. And this way I can show this to the client and talk them through it. So try sketching your site. Show it to either a team member or show it to someone that's not on your team. Show it to another person that's in your class. Show it to your teacher. Get some feedback from them, and make sure that your site is doing the right thing and it's accomplishing its purpose. Then you can worry about making it look beautiful and putting in little cool transitions or whatever. Those should be the last things that you do. We want a site that's going to serve its purpose first. All right? Cool. I'm William Donald. Can't wait to see the stuff that you guys create. Bye.